The soul speaks. Indeed, the soul speaks through us humans. This is a concept, a new one we haven't truly and genuinely considered. We have heard of The Body Keeps Score, Bessel van der Kolk's famous book that I recommend to all. We have heard The Body Speaks from many wise humans on this world. A lot of wisdom in that. But we do not consider that the soul also speaks through us, through human. The marvelous ability when we merge the linear design architecture, the linear timeline of the physical world in which we live, and the quantum field in which the soul, the spirit, and other etheric beings live. The design architectures of each, we know those well. We can look it up in our books. We have learned about it. We live in the linear timeline, often driven by relativistic physics and Newtonian physics. And there's a past, a present, and a future. That means we have movement. We can do something, and then the next time, do something different. We can grow, expand, do, redo, and all the rest. There's something in our lives we don't like. We can do something similar, never exact same, of course, but do something just like it and change something. And by that, we change ourselves. And we can change the outcome and much more. In the quantum field, there is no movement because it is now all and always. That means whatever happens is frozen in place. But when we have aspects of ourselves, some on a linear timeline, merge together with aspects that are from the quantum field, we can come together and bring to bear the best qualities of each aspect of us within ourselves and of the design architectures of the universe itself, or the various design architectures of the universe, the multiverses, call it what you wish. So through us, we have the ability to do movement, heal, clear out certain things, change something we don't like, do it differently, do it better also. And in the quantum field, trauma, for example, can be changed, or rather released and cleared, not really changed, but we can release and clear the energies by having that ability of movement through the human. Where we also bring this to bear, and this is something important for all of you healers out there and anyone else as well. You can bring to bear the best of both worlds. We have assumed that any healing and clearing is incremental, linear, sequential, slow, one case after the other, one instant after the other, and each one has to be dealt with independently and separately. But if you look at it in a different form, you look at the pattern of what it is, the pattern of the trapped emotion, the pattern of the trauma itself. And you step away from the specific issue, but just look at the pattern or the emotion itself to make it easier to convey, communicate, understand. Grief, sadness, anger, resentment, unworthiness, any one of those. These are kind of very common in everyone through their own personal examples of each one. So instead of having all those ever repeating ones and looking at each individual, you just look at the surrounding pattern. Consider it a square, a circle, a geometry, a bunch of shapes combined, something like that. They look similar. Then you bring to bear the quantum field, and you can daisy chain link them all together, almost like a bracelet or something, or a necklace. All those very similars, you can focus on the pattern, bring them all together, collect them, scoop them up from the entire container of self, all aspects. The physical self, the current life, the familiar lines, father line, mother line, deeply held in the DNA. There has been epigenetic studies that have established that. It is in our DNA and in the consciousness itself. And then the soul, who merges with our physical body to live life on planet Earth, has embodied in whatever form that took, wherever, previously, and has accumulated the equivalent of, yes, trapped emotions, wounds, etc., traumas, abilities, susceptibilities. It can be everything. It doesn't always have to be a trapped emotion or something sad. It can literally be a superpower, a super skill. How often do we see a 4-year-old pianist that plays like a master? Or Mozart composing symphonies at 4 years old? Or Srinivasa Ramanujan, who as a 10-year-old in India in the early 1900s was scribbling in chalk very advanced mathematical formulas. Where does it come from? We pick it up from somewhere. We've done it before, we experienced it before or something. There are many ways, many avenues in which this comes together. But when we want to move ahead, bring to bear the best, bring it within ourselves and release it. When it comes to trapped emotions, traumas, etc., we bring to bear the patterns in our physical self, and the physical self has a density and intensity to be and behave like a vessel on which we can do it out of, to literally bounce it out of. And we can collect all of like patterns in a basket and then clear that all out, empty that basket, shall we say, and release the energies. And then it is gone from our entire field, our entire stream, and, of course, another quantum thing, past, present, and future. We clear it for our familiar line. It's no longer there. It no longer affects us. And because it is no longer a pattern that tears us down, constricts us, makes us sad, or creates some opening, some vulnerability, some predisposition that isn't always the most helpful for us, it is no longer there. It no longer affects us. Now, I want to be very clear. The action, the act, the deed, the whatever happened, it did happen. But we can decouple the emotional aspect from it and be able to then say, this happened to me without any emotional charge, because we have cleared away the emotional charge that affects us. Otherwise, the act of, the fact of is just that, the fact of. We don't erase that. Call it passive. It's sitting in a book on a shelf someplace, but it no longer affects us. It is a part of our story, a part of our history. We can help ourselves and we can help one another, bringing to bear and bringing together the best of all worlds. Now you might say, how can the soul speak? The soul has feelings, but in the quantum field, they kind of present a little differently. But through us humans, through our emotions, through our words, we are that mouth for the soul to say, ouch, I'm hurting, I'm happy. What is the soul feeling? We are a compilation or a complex of many aspects of energies, frequencies, and vibrations, as Tesla said. We bring to bear the best. All of us can speak through the human, for example, and the soul can also bring through certain things. A good friend of mine who transitioned in October 2021 in Franco de Nicola put it so beautifully when he put out his teachings. It is on YouTube, Advancing Consciousness series. And his physicality was in a lot of pain. And he was able to bring through, when his soul got into the driver's seat, he didn't feel any physical pain at that time. And he was animated, happy, and able to bring through his wisdom in those 2 hours. His soul, an aspect of self, still himself, not any other taking over, but he, a passenger in the vehicle of self, a roommate in the house of self, made up of several individuals or family members. It's all you. It's aspects of you. So the soul can come forth and speak. Beautiful wisdom too. And the human can speak too. a joint effort, a collaboration. So on my friend Franco, when the soul was done communicating and imparting the wisdom, human, as the baseline, as we hired the physical world here, again took charge, got back in the driver's seat, the primary driver. And again, physically, his body felt all that pain. But when we look at this, look at ourselves, those aspects of self, it also explains why sometimes we shift moods from one moment to another. Something shifts it in any and all direction. It's because another aspect gets in the driver's seat. And all the others go sit somewhere else, take a nap, have a snack, do whatever. And the one in charge, the one that is in the driver's seat at the moment, that one takes point for that moment. But they're all aspects of self. So perhaps I've wandered a bit off the original topic of the soul speaks. I guess the soul speaks in many forms. And the soul is a part of us. And we speak. And the soul speaks through us. And we merge with the soul. The soul comes here to learn through the human experience. Again, the basic experience of life. You cannot have it in the quantum field. And we get to experience the quantum field through our soul, tapping into higher aspects of self and higher dimensions and higher wisdom. There is so much in this, so much more, when we realize we're multidimensional beings and we can bring to bear the best qualities of within ourselves, our individual selves, and of the dimensional design architectures of two completely distinct design structures and architectures. We bring them together within us in the middle world. And we are the most magnificent, powerful beings when we can do all kinds of things because we do this right here. Things that cannot be done individually in either one of those two or more realms. You create by bringing together many and taking and growing and expanding and bringing to bear the best qualities of each and every one for the best possible outcome for all in all ways. Blessings, and go forth and explore. Explore yourselves, be yourselves. Yes, connect and reconnect to yourselves. Much love.